Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about trust and courage when it comes to doing this work. Many of my students will say to me, how do I know that I'm really connecting with spirit? Well, the way that you know you're really connecting, without a doubt, is evidential mediumship, which means that you will be able to have the ability, with God and Spirit's help, to bring in information that only the person who comes to you for a reading and the person in spirit would be able to know. And of course, the person who comes to you would be able to validate. So there's the big difference. So I think I know rather when people come to me to learn how to do this or to find out if they're truly connecting. Many people will come here and they'll say, well, I'm already a medium, but, I heard about you and I heard you're a good teacher, so, I'd like to hear a little bit. And I say to them, well, everybody can connect with spirit. That's this much of it. Now you have to learn the rest of it, which is huge. You have to learn the do's and the don'ts, the etiquette of mediumship, how to bring information in, how spirit works with us symbolically. So it's so much bigger than just saying, oh, I see spirit or I hear spirit. That's a very small part of it. Now you have to understand it all. Remember that it's a different world. It's a different dimension. So it's very different than it is here. And they do work with us very symbolically. So in order to form that real trust, we have to be courageous, courageous enough to believe it, to go to the right teachers, to go to the right classes. A lot of people stay in the closet, as I did for many, many years. I don't want to admit that they do this work. And at some point, I reached a point in my life where I said, this is it. I can't hide it anymore. This is what I do. This is what I've always been able to do. I have a very strong connection. They show me themselves. They give me information, clairvoyant and clairaudient. I see and I hear. So I have to be true to God and spirit. I embrace this as a gift. I do not think that this is a curse in any shape, way, or form. Again, and if we get into the Bible, mediumship is very strong throughout the Bible. What the Bible talks against is talking about the future or communicating with the dead, as they say, for information about the future. Mediumship is very strong. Jesus was the greatest medium that ever lived. The Blessed Virgin Mary was a medium. The prostitute Mary Magdalene was a medium. All the apostles were mediums. Mediumship is very strong in the Old Testament and the New Testament. So whose right is it to say it was only correct back then? It isn't correct or a gift today? And I know that's not true. I know that this is a God-given gift, which many of us have. It's how we choose to use it. I choose to use it in a way that's pleasing to God. I choose to use it in a way in which the gift was given to me. So I am courageous enough now to go forward and say, I am a spiritual evidential medium. And when you come to learn how to do this work, whether it's to me or other true mediums out there who are teaching this, then you have to reach the point where you're going to be courageous yourself and you're going to trust spirit. And that's what I always say. You're either going to trust God and spirit or you're not. So, when people come here, sometimes they hold back when we do exercises, and I'll maybe team them up with somebody else and I'll say, okay, bring in 4 or 5 specific pieces of information like name, rank, and serial number connected with the person that you're reading, and just let this information come in, and they'll have maybe 5 minutes of quiet time, and then I encourage them to write in their journal what they receive, and they do, and then they share with each other, and they're always blown away because they get accurate information. And I say that's because you're in a very safe place here. You're not afraid to admit it or say it, and you're working together. So you have to reach that point outside of this safe place and go out into the world and say, I'm going to be courageous and I'm going to trust God and spirit. And once we trust God and spirit completely, especially God, then God will never fail us and spirit will never fail us when we do this work, as long as you do it properly in God's love and light. Okay, so just a little bit today about trust and courage, and as always, I leave you in God's love and light.